Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today with all of you. Thank you, Anuvrat, Vishwa Bharati Society, for inviting me to this webinar. From my little understanding, I came to know that the core philosophy of Anuvrat movement is that the self-restraint is the way of life. This is very much related to our philosophy as a climate change organization. We too believe that when you have a self-control over your individual behaviors and mindsets, we could solve the whole problem of climate change. That's what we believe as a climate change initiative. Once again, so happy to be here. So today I'll try to share two things. Sorry, I won't take that much long. Just two things. One, I'll try to share about my initiative back home in Kerala, about what we do, how we do. And second, I'll try to share my personal views on various approaches, how we approach sustainability as an organization. Okay, so let me share this presentation with you. Okay, so before starting, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishnu PR. I was born and brought up in Kerala, in the district of Thiruvananthapuram. Regarding my studies, I did my graduation in sociology and masters in international business. Right now, I'm doing my second master's in environment, politics, and development here in London at SOAS, University of London. So right now I'm working as the director of C5 Foundation, or Change Can Change Climate Change Foundation. That's the abbreviation of C5. As I told earlier, the core philosophy of C5 is that when you control your individual behaviors, your mindsets, when you change the way you travel, the food habits, the shopping habits, all these things, when you have a self-control on or restrict these behaviors, we believe that you could change, or we could have a great impact on solving the problem of ongoing climate crisis. Okay, so C5 initiative was started as a citizen initiative to tackle climate crisis involving various stakeholders from the society. This include government agencies, civil society groups, NGOs, student communities. So basically it was originally intended to create a volunteer development platform so that youngsters, young professionals and young students can come and work on several projects related to environment and climate change and pave a path to their career for future social entrepreneurs. That was the original idea. It was started in 2018. During 2018-2017 was, as a state, we face numerous natural calamities from Oki cyclone, Kerala 2018 floods and 2019 floods. So there was a need of a citizen initiative, especially from the state of Kerala. It's a very small state, so there was a necessity to have a collective, collaborative effort to solve this issue of climate crisis. So CIFA is now registered as a Section 8 company. It's a not-profit organization. So it's basically a consortium of projects where a young volunteer, if you are a volunteer, if you are a young volunteer, and if you have an idea on to work or contribute to this particular sector, you can create a proposal to the expert committee, to the CFI organization, and once the expert committee reviews and finalize, they approve the idea, that particular proposal will be shared to the our funding networks. There are numerous funding agencies with us. So they again do the reviewing process, and once they agree to fund this particular project, we'll be hiring this particular volunteer as the project head and a couple of other officials and a control group of volunteers for kicking off this particular project. So basically all these funds will be CSR funds or individual donations, and this will be running for 1 to 2 years as a pilot. And all these projects are green business models, so there will be a revenue model attached to it. So within this 1 to 2 years, these projects will be sustainable. Most projects will be self-sustainable on its own, so that they don't want to have a fund from the third year to run. So they'll be self-sustainable in its own, so that they can run without any funding support from the third year. Once it's self-sustainable from the third year, we will be releasing this particular project upon request to the project team, so that they can form a new company or a organization or an initiative on their own, so that they can own it up. So the whole idea is to create awareness among the youngsters and create a chance and opportunity for youngsters to become a future social entrepreneur. So that's the whole idea of this initiative. Okay. So, as I said earlier, CFI is a consortium of projects. So anyone can come with an idea, pitch in with the expert committee, and raise some funds and start working on that. So in that way, CFI is really unique from other organizations and other initiatives. So I'll just quickly go through the existing projects of CFI. So Project Udyanam, as the name implies, which literally translates to flower garden in Malayalam. So basically, was a CSR project funded by Thermop and Pole. So the idea was to clear the dump sites, 36 dump sites, literally, into flowering gardens in the district of Thiruvananthapuram, and do some community awareness in that neighborhood. So when we do our data mapping, we found out that 85% of the waste of that particular city dump site is coming from outside the neighborhood, hotel waste and other kind of surgical hospital waste. So usually when we do our dump site clearing, we clear off all the waste, as you can see in the picture, and just dump it into another landfill. But here the way we do was to segregate the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste on the site itself. You can see that in the picture, it's a mixed waste. So we segregate both this waste and clear it, and we send the NBD waste, like non-biodegradable waste, to the recycling units of the municipal corporation, and we put the biodegradable waste into the grow bags and plant flowering plants in that same spot itself. You can see in the picture. So this is flowering plants. It's ornamental plants. We cannot use other kind of edible plants due to the contamination problems. So we will, for the next 41 days, we will be camping there. We will be focusing on various community events in that particular neighborhood in partnership with various stakeholders, like shop vendors, residents welfare association. We will try to mobilize the youngsters, kids, elderly people in that particular neighborhood and create a citizen vigilant group, so that this particular dump site never happened again. That was the objective of Project Udyanam. Moving to the next project is Project Samriddhi. Project Samriddhi is an organic farming project. So basically, we try to take into lease of urban or city vacant plots, which is otherwise used as dumping yards. So as you can see, we clear that plots using the college volunteers. You can see the girl volunteers are actively plowing the lands. So we do organic cultivation there with the support of the local Krishi Bhavan, and once the one harvesting cycle is completed, we create that organic produce, we sell within a nominal price in that particular neighborhood itself. So if you can see, this is not about a profit making objective. More than that, we have to inspire and influence positively these youngsters from various education institutions and youngsters from that particular neighborhood, so that they can learn the significance of a sustainable lifestyle as a tool to tackle these climate change issues in future. So that's how it's when you can see the volunteers taking part in the project, and on the right hand side you can see the organic produce which we created from the project. Moving on to the next project is a green event management project called C5 Events. As the name implies, we try to implement green protocol for events such as marriage, birthday parties and conferences, so that to reduce the carbon footprint which is otherwise created from these kind of events. So in the picture you can see you always use the biodegradable products as wooden materials, tree leaves, original leaves for the wedding functions, so that for the decorations, food containers, food utensils, and the gift items. These are the three major areas we work upon. You could see on the bottom picture, you can see it's a birthday function, and that birthday girl and our C5 volunteers are removing the plastic wrappers and plastic carry bags which were got from the gift. So we'll try to segregate these waste and give it to the recycling units. So this is basically a green event management project which is continuing. It's a major trend in the state of Kerala now. The state government of Kerala is it's a flagship project of them. Moving on to the next, Climate Action Club is more like a nature club or an eco club in this school or education institutions, but small difference is that this is more kind of an action-oriented project. We give ownership and responsibility to the college students so that they can own up that project and they can do that campaign in the neighborhood of those particular institutions. So they can create any ideas, they can do that project, they can fundraise it. So it's in a given period of time, they can do such campaigns, awareness campaigns and other seminars, international workshops in their particular institution. So it's basically to create awareness, again, to create an awareness about this particular ongoing climate emergency among the youngsters, because these youngsters are the future parents and grandparents. They are going to see how our future generation and future kids are going to suffer due to this climate change. So in order to create a seriousness among the youngsters, we are running these climate action clubs throughout the institutions in the country. So these are some various campaigns, awareness campaigns doing on particular dates. On the left hand side, on the World Tribal Day, there was a dumping. This Ponmudi Hills is part of Western Ghats. It's a tourist hotspot. So when the tourists came, you all know how we all manage our tourist spots. So there was a huge dumping sites within the Ponmudi Hills. So these are our tribal warriors, tribal young kids. It's a tribal school located in the Ponmudi foothills of the Ponmudi Hills. So they all volunteered for an awareness campaign there. They created a signing petition with the tourists. All these are tourist signatures they have collected. On the right hand side, on the Ocean Day or Fisheries Day, they created a sand art, most of the volunteers. On the bottom side, this is on the Yoga Day. Mental well-being and climate change has a huge connection. Most of us are not realizing that fact. So yoga is a very well authentic tool to tackle that particular issue. So yeah, long story short, within 2 to 3 years, our C5 initiative was hugely successful. We got regional, state, national level recognitions. So we traveled throughout the country. We had various partners, stakeholders. This is the Rotary Club International honoring us. This is the district magistrate and the minister himself. But to be honest, of all the achievements, this is my personal favorite. I got the opportunity to attend the United Nations Youth Climate Summit 2019 in UN headquarters at New York. I was one among the 100 green ticket winners selected to attend this climate summit. I'm so humbled to say that the whole credit goes to our volunteers, thousands of volunteers, stakeholders, funders. It was a huge collective effort. Without them, we wouldn't have achieved this great height within 2 to 3 years. So that was a huge achievement for us. Now we are observer status. We got an observer status from United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So that's it. That's our small story, or how we fight against this most pressing issue of our times. So this is one of my favorite quotes. It is our collective and individual responsibility to preserve and tend to the world in which we all live. So it's true that one person cannot change the whole problem of climate change, but each one of us has a major role to play, like an Anu. if you consider the bigger picture, each one of us has a major role to play. Tomorrow is a World Environment Day, another Environment Day. This whole world will be celebrating with various awareness campaigns, workshops, tree planting drives, beach cleanup programs. And this day will also be passed upon. And what happens that everything goes back to normal. So please let me ask all of you, if you can start some of these actions from your home. Of course, we all know that every one of us cannot become a climate activist or work on a policy level or do some protest, but still we can all start changing at least one of our habits from our home, and do share those stories, do share those efforts to your friends and families, so that you can inspire them and they can inspire their friends and families, so on and so forth. So that network should be more and more increased in such a way that our future generation can live more peacefully in sync with nature. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. These are my personal contact details. If any one of you, especially youngsters listening to this webinar, if you are interested to do any such initiatives or activities in your city or in your villages or in your neighborhoods, if you need our help, I'm so happy to be part of those initiatives, and so happy to help you all. So do be in touch, and always believe that the smallest change starts from us, not from others. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.